What's going on, guys? How's it going? Good seeing you guys again. Another Wednesday night live with me. I hope you guys enjoyed Clint's live stream on Monday, which was pretty good. What's going on, guys? Let me look at the chat a little bit. I just got home from work doing videos for Classic. Okay. Everything looks good. I just got to check so I'm not just talking here. Sound looks good. Camera looks good. All right, let's check some of the chat a little bit. Okay, Streaker, who's right? Hamas openly massacres women and children, and you dumbasses are asking who is right. We're asking the question because there's a lot of people out there, whether you like it or not, are saying Israel is right, and there's a lot of people out there that says Palestine is right. I'm asking you guys a question and discuss this thing. Obviously, nobody freaking agrees with massacring kids and women, dude. Are you kidding me? Hell no. They're freaking terrorists. All right. So, what's going on, guys? How are things? Okay, let me look at it. Ariel, what's Palestine? I don't know. I think there's a region called Palestine. Not sure. I haven't been there. But really, once we get some more people showing up over here, I really do want to talk about the current state of affairs, like the Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and Russia, and what should the United States do? I want to talk to you guys about that. And this really does correlates with the Second Amendment here in the United States. So it really directly affects us. I mean, U.S. is just this superpower. We've got our hands everywhere. So anybody who thinks, oh, this doesn't affect us, we don't care, I'm sorry, you're wrong. This directly affects us. Okay, when I ask the question, who's right, it is not necessarily I'm saying one side is right, one side is wrong, none of that stuff. I mean, of course, I personally, just as Kaya, not Classic, myself, I don't agree with freaking terrorism, just going out there and killing women and children. Nobody agrees with that bullshit. Of course, they're fucking terrorists. But when I say who is right, when I ask that question, the question is a lot deeper than what's happening right now, because Palestine and Israel have been fighting each other for many, many decades, guys. So if you really go back to the history, you're going to see that, you know what, both sides have been doing some shady stuff. If you guys don't know the history, we can take a look at it. I can explain to you because I'm pretty well versed about the Palestine and Israel history, and we can watch some videos too. But the who's right part is like, how is this, like who's right on the territorial dispute and how could this be resolved? Not on who's killing the kids and if they're right, if they're okay to do that. Obviously not. Nobody agrees with that bullshit. So going back up here. Scott, yes, I'm on time today, man. Let's see. Steve, how's it going, man? Good seeing you again. Hello, Kaya. To answer the question of who is right, I would have to be much more assured as to whether the information we receive is correct. I'm not sure that any of it is. Steve, absolutely fantastic point, my friend. There is a lot of bullshit information pumping through, especially Twitter. If you guys check Twitter, I don't know if any of you guys are on there. I'm on there. Dude, it's insane. It depends on how you view the world politically. You can create a narrative. There is a tweet, or there are tweets out there. If you think, this is just hypothetical. If you think Hamas or Palestine is right, there are tweets for you right now currently pumping from the United States and anywhere else around the world that actually confirms your views. If you think Israel is right, there are tweets about that. It's crazy. And a lot of them are bullshit. Like they were showing a bunch of different tweets about Israel doing something to Palestine, which weren't even now. They were like freaking 5 years ago. So it's crazy things out there. So if you can independently verify some of this stuff, I would, but there are a lot of bullshit. Like I saw a specific one in Turkish. There's these two Israeli old soldiers, right? They were soldiers like 20 years ago. And they're talking about whatever in Hebrew. This is a true story, guys. Everybody listen to this. This is very important. They're talking about something in Hebrew, and I don't understand Hebrew. Some freaking Turkish people, like somebody, okay? And my background is Turkish, but doesn't matter where I'm from. There's right and there's wrong, okay? Somebody translated those two Hebrew guys, Israeli soldiers, the old folks. One of them laughing is like, "Oh, we used to rape this Palestinian girl, and then we shot everybody else around them," and he's laughing. And then the other guy is like, "Oh yeah, these guys were just running from us because we wouldn't treat them right, and we would just shoot them in the back," or something like that. When I saw that video, it was on Instagram. The very first thing I said was, I was like, this is bullshit. I don't have to speak Hebrew to know this is bullshit. These translations cannot be true. Either this is AI, because AI can do like lip sync now, or this is bullshit. And sure enough, guys, we asked an actual Hebrew speaking person to translate that. Those translations were bullshit. So somebody was pumping some bullshit information. So be careful, guys. Anyways, Vince, how's it going, man? Good seeing you again. True American patriot will not comply. The only involvement we need is to our citizens with Israelis' permission and help. As if it happened here, I would expect the same from them. Dude, absolutely agree with you. I agree on this level, though. If somebody independently wants to go out there and help, absolutely. But I have different feelings about the United States as a nation going out there and putting boots on the ground, man. I think we've got bigger deals. Because that's a never-ending war. If this was just a one thing, it just happened out of nowhere, I'd say one thing. But dude, this is gonna happen again. This is gonna die down, it's gonna happen again. Again, anybody who's watching right now and you're not well-versed on the Israeli and Palestine conflict, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go back to the history and talk to you guys about it. And you guys are gonna understand that, this is like a never-ending war. I don't honestly think this will ever end. What else? What else we got? Oh, I'm going down on the, what's up, Tom? How's it going, man? Veteran, how's it going? Hypnotic, how's it going? So, Crunchy Taco, good seeing you, man. I'm trying to catch up on the chat right now, but we'll get there. Brad Parker, yeah, it's a territory. Glassom, you involve women and children, you get leveled. I agree with you. The women and children, innocent people, right? We've seen on the streets they're getting executed. That is a barbaric terrorism. There's no other explanation to it. You can't be right and then have the right to do that. I think we all agree with that. I think anybody with half a brain will agree with this. But this applies to other side too, right? Because there are women and children on both sides. I don't think these guys should be killing women and children or innocent people. They should be fighting each other. Collateral damage is another thing. I get it. We'll get to it. But let me read some of the chat a little bit. Might be that Israel behind the whole thing. There you go. Taiwan and China. If Taiwan and China jumps into this, I mean, yeah, that's going to be a little bit different. But I honestly think we may have started the World War III. WW3, man. Veteran, thanks to the founding fathers of Second Amendment. Agreed. As soon as I look through the chat a little bit, we'll talk about it because you guys are going to see how important Second Amendment is. And every single one of you guys watching this video right now, whether you agree or not, you really should fight for the Second Amendment in this country. Because the only thing that's keeping justice and tyranny, that line, is the Second Amendment, guys. I truly, sincerely mean this. And I immigrated to the United States 20 years ago. 20-year-old man, a boy, right? I'm 40 now. 20 years ago, I got here to the greatest nation on earth. And I really am proudly saying that. I don't care what anybody says, right? This is the country. This is home for me. And honestly, the whole freedom, the notion of freedom, in my personal opinion, if you look at it, every country claims to be free nation, democratic nation. Go to Germany, go to other countries, like some of these really like civilized nations. None of them have the Second Amendment the way we do. That means, really, in reality, none of them are free. So, protect Second Amendment at all cost. I sincerely mean this. And I've learned this later in life. If you ask 20-year-old Kaya, I may say, oh, no, why does everybody need gun? I may have said that back in the day because I was dumb, right? I don't believe I am anymore. So moving on. Actually, I'm all the way down there. Dude, there's so much stuff you guys wrote. I'm trying to catch up with all these chat over here. I don't know. Double ZZ Ranch. Who do you support? My family and me. Exactly. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys, anybody who's supporting Israel right now, okay? Because obviously, I'm sure there are people who doesn't, right? Anybody who's supporting Israel right now, would you like United States military, boots on the ground in Israel? Let me know. Tactical Jawa, did you see what they said about next Friday? What do they say? What's going on next Friday, guys? And by the way, I'm going to tell you guys my honest thoughts here. I don't care whether you guys agree with me. I don't care that I work for Classic. It doesn't matter. I'm my own person, and I'm not going to bullshit any of you guys. And in a minute, I'll tell you guys my true feelings about this nonsense that's going on down there. And I'll tell you guys that because that's what I feel. It's not necessarily maybe what you guys want to hear. Somebody sent me a super chat. I'm trying to catch that. All right, Chris Ferguson, $10. First of all, Chris, thanks, dude. Good seeing you here. When you start cutting off heads of babies, any argument in your favor is gone. Yes, the people of Palestine got screwed after WW2, but so did the people who lived there before the Palestinians. Great point, dude. This is very well said. When you cut off the heads of babies, any innocent person, your argument is invalid for me. I don't care if you're my own brother, if my own dad. I don't care who you are. Your argument is invalid. To me, you're a piece of shit. You should be dead. I sincerely mean this. Anybody who cuts off heads of babies should no longer walk the earth. I sincerely mean this. And this is coming from the bottom of my heart. And this applies to if this was Israel doing it, I would say the same thing to them. Okay? So I don't care who you are. If you're killing innocent civilians knowingly, then screw you. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, Earth Walker, the Spirit. For 16 years, the Israeli government has suffocated Palestinians under Gaza under a draconian air, sea, and land military blockade, imprisoning and starving 2 million people and denying them medical aid. Some would say that, listen, I think everybody who knows the history of Israel and Palestine would agree that definitely Israel had oppressed the Palestinian people. That's for sure. But then Hamas is really extremist folks who don't give a shit about Palestinian people, clearly attacking Israel and doing all those raucous shit. Well, guess what? Israel, in retaliation, sending rockets back down there, and collateral damage, a lot of civilians die. So Hamas doesn't give a shit. Like, if you ask Hamas, hey, did you not think that Israel was going to respond with some brute force after what you did? They all know that. They knew a lot of Palestinian civilians were going to get freaking slaughtered. They still went and did what they did. At the same time, Israel, I think, dropping bombs in very, very highly populated areas. I mean, you guys can ask yourself how morally appropriate that is. You guys can decide that for yourself. I mean, I understand Israel says that, hey, you know what? I'm targeting military zones. I'm sorry. You were just bombing the farmer's market in downtown Gaza. Yeah, of course, some Hamas folks freaking hide there. I get it, of course. They're hiding behind their cowards, right? But when you bomb those areas, if you kill a couple of Hamas folks, you're probably going to kill 20 civilians. And Israel knows that. Whether you guys agree with that or not, let me know in the comment section, guys. All right. Let's see. Concealed carry, Kentucky. Israel wanted this. They want war with Iran and Palestine. There's no way this is happening unless it was allowed by Israel to happen. Honestly, I think Iran, guys, I think really Iran definitely helped orchestrate this. I truly believe that. Iran is just, by the way, Iran is very powerful. Those folks have been sanctioned by the United States for many, many years, and they are still finding ways to improve their technology, the military capabilities. So Iran is very capable when it comes to military power. So Iran is definitely supporting Hamas. I think this is very well documented. Maddie Allen, if you think the Jews won't turn on the Christians when it suits them, you're mistaken. They view us as false idol worshippers. Not sure. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, dude, there's a super chat. I'm trying to catch to that. Yeah. What's up, Mark? Good seeing you again, dude. What's going on? Giovanni, good seeing you again, dude. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. All right. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think we are in World War III? Some people predict that this is it. This is happening, right? Russia, Ukraine, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's still very unstable. Now, Israel and Palestine, which, if you look at it, they're tiny, like the tiny little countries or areas. Well, Iran is behind it. Now, Egypt may get involved. Obviously, the Lebanon, now they're firing missiles from Syria. So this may end up being one of those, like, many of the Middle Eastern countries get together, and the U.S. is supporting, obviously, Israel. So this may actually get a lot bigger than it is right now, and it may affect, it 100% will affect, if it hasn't already, the entire Middle East. It may affect the world. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is World War III? Let me see that super chat real quick. Hold on. I'm looking for that super chat. Dude, where's that super chat? All right, there you go. Outdoors Dude 12, $10. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. The supposed beheadings and rape of Israelis was literally proven unverifiable by an Israeli spokeswoman. All news channels even started admitting and changing their stories. Now, that's another thing. I mean, great point. I don't know. I can't independently verify that, but I can just tell you this. Anybody who beheads babies, kills babies, innocent civilians, women, men, elderly, doesn't matter, right? I don't care where they're from. Forget that they're wrong. Obviously they are. In my honest opinion, they shouldn't live. And I mean this sincerely. They should not freaking live. Anybody who does that. Wait, there was another super chat right here. I just saw it pass. It was a, where is it? Where is it? Couple bucks. Thanks, dude. Second Amendment is why First Amendment exists. That is very true. Dude, if you really look at it, if we look at Iran, let's talk about Iran. You know what Iran says? Iran's constitution says a person has the right to privacy. Police officers, the government cannot detain, search a person without a warrant, without a justification, all that stuff. If you look at it, it almost sounds like the United States. The only difference is there's no Second Amendment. They're not armed. I sincerely mean it, guys. I challenge every single one of you guys. Look at pretty much most countries out there, most modern countries, let's just say, right? Even some third world, right? They claim to be very free, and they have constitution written on that the people have rights, and they call themselves democratic nations. They don't have Second Amendment. And people are absolutely at the will of the government. Whatever the government wants, that's what's going to happen to you. You can't even fight them. Now, let's talk about the Second Amendment that ties to Israel right now. Israel literally was pretty much this gun-free zone. Just the government could own guns. People were literally disarmed in Israel, which is crazy. You are surrounded by countries who want you out of that region. You've been in this never-ending, decades-long conflict, and you disarm your people. You didn't want guns. And now the Hamas terrorists, and I will always call Hamas folks terrorists. This doesn't negate the fact that I believe that Palestinians were definitely oppressed. I think everybody sees that. Everybody knows that. But that doesn't make what Hamas did okay. Hamas is a freaking barbaric terrorist organization all day long. They went in there and they just executed folks. I can never get on board with any of those freaking idiots. But anyways, Hamas came in to your streets and just slaughtered your people. If that's not a wake-up call, that's why I put on the title of this live stream to a eye-opener. Because if you ask Israel, Israel thought their Iron Dome and the big wall and their amazing military capabilities and intelligence capabilities with the backing of the United States, they were impenetrable. Nobody could ever invade them. Nobody could ever do what just happened to them. Well, guess what? It happened to them. And people were slaughtered on the streets. They weren't armed to protect themselves. There are some reports. In fact, there's this husband and wife. They had a 10-month-old baby. They hid the baby and they went somewhere else, like different part of the house, and grabbed their ARs. They were both military folks, like husband and wife. So they were armed because of their job. They got into a gunfight with the Hamas terrorists. They killed 7 of them before the other Hamas terrorists killed them both. So this husband and wife, this was just on the news. I was just looking at it. How much of it is true? I don't know, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of propaganda out there. But apparently they killed 7 Hamas terrorists before they ran out of ammo or whatever happened to them, and the other Hamas terrorists were able to kill them. But at least you see that they had a fighting chance. If I'm going to go down here today, if somebody's going to break in through my door, and if I'm going to lose that fight for whatever reason, right, whether I get overpowered or whatever, I would love to, and my wish is this, that I lay down dead over a bunch of brass around me. That's from me. That at least I had a chance to fight back. That I wasn't just sitting there like a sheep and get executed. That's truly my wish. And I think that's how everybody should think. But yeah, so Israel is now arming their citizens. I know I was talking to Clint. Clint said that they were giving them 100 rounds. But I was watching another video today that they were actively giving them guns. Again, I don't know how much of it is true. Let's see. What else? They've been at it for a millennia. Why would now be any different? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, seriously, if you guys think about it, they've been going at it forever. A lot of people who are chiming in right now and just saying that, oh, you know what, screw Palestine, Israel, we'll send U.S. troops there, whatever. They freaking don't understand this conflict. This conflict has been going on for many, many decades. Like, there's always this escalation, de-escalation, escalation, de-escalation. U.S. troops going to Israel, I mean, yeah, Israel's our friend. But let me ask you guys this question. You get to choose one. I wish I could do a poll. Alexa, stop. What's she doing here? Why are you talking? Let me guys ask you this. If you guys could choose one, would you choose U.S. military assisting Israel, or would you choose U.S. military assisting the southern border? I sincerely am asking this question. Let me know in the comment section. I'd like to read it. Oh, a wireless one, decades. The reason I said decades because ever since the establishment of Israel, of course, they've been killing each other for a long time. All right. So the question is this again: would you guys rather right now, whether you're on the side of Israel or not? Actually, in fact, I'm asking this directly to folks who are on the side of Israel 100%. Would you like U.S. troops to go assist Israel, or would you like U.S. troops to assist the southern border? And you don't get to choose both. You get to choose one. I mean it. You get to choose one. Both is not an answer, not an option. Let's see. America first, border, border, southern border, southern border, southern border. Secure our border first, then go from there. Hey, death, I think that's going to take a long time. There's no war to win there for us, so it's going to be pointless. Exactly. Even if U.S. gets involved, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, these are all my personal thoughts, okay? I'm no political expert, but I've seen a couple of things in my life. The U.S. getting involved in Israel, Palestine, that fight, that's another Vietnam, bro. You're not winning that one. I promise you're not winning that one. Yeah, you may level a lot of places. You're probably going to kill hundreds of thousands of people, but you're not going to win that fight. I really don't think you could win that fight. Mongoose. Kai, that question is irrelevant. What we need is for the world to assist in ending the violence. Military action is not the answer. I 100% agree with you. Dude, like the Israel military conflict, let's talk about that, why it's been happening. Way back in the day, so I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, like as simple as I can. Way back when Brits ran that area, British, Jews from Europe and all over started to coming. The Brits allowed them to immigrate down to the Holy Land, where, it's a holy land for Christians, obviously, the Muslims and Jews, right? So Jews were allowed to come down there. And then once a lot of Jews started coming in, Brits were like, you know what? Stop. We don't want any more Jews coming down here to today's Israel. Then what happened was Jews became, they started to arm themselves and had a militia. And then sometime later, Brits were like, you know what? Screw you guys. We're leaving. So they left. Obviously, the Palestinians, those Arab people that call themselves the Palestinians, they start fighting with the Jews. And long story short, when Israel became a nation, the United Nations helped with the peace treaty. They established borders. There's the West Bank and the Gaza, okay, where Palestinians settled in the West Bank area and also the Gaza area. But those were the borders drawn by the United Nations. Well, then the conflict tension continued, obviously. So Palestinians weren't happy with it. So that tension continued. And when that tension continued, Israel decided, you know what, screw this, these United Nations borders, whatever. They just went in and fought the Palestinians more and just took over West Bank and also Gaza. And now the Gaza and the West Bank belong to Israel as well, which was drawn by the UN, not that they belong to Palestinians. And from there, Israelis began to settle in some parts of the West Bank. And Gaza, obviously, the tension never ended, right? At one point, Israel was like, screw this thing, you guys can have Gaza. Well, Gaza is like 2 million folks live there. It's a very densely populated area. And so the Palestinians in Gaza elected Hamas, this now what I call is a terrorist organization, because what they do is terrorism to me. These folks won the majority in their little parliament in Gaza area. So they started to run Gaza in their own ways, and the conflict never ended from there. Because Gaza, even though Israel completely withdrew itself from Gaza, Israel was still involved in the West Bank. So Gaza kept fighting, and they've been fighting ever since, man. That's it. So the Palestinians say, you know what? We want those lands, the West Bank and obviously the Gaza, they have it. We want your no involvement, and this is ours, whatever. But Israel is like, you guys can have it, but we run it, kind of thing. So in a nutshell, that's what I've learned about the story of the history of Palestine and Israel. So if you look at them, hey, when it comes to the dispute, okay, land dispute, the Palestinians do have a point. But at the same time, Israelis do have a point too, because a lot of their people got killed. Like, dude, both sides. I mean, although Palestinians had much, much more casualties than Israeli folks, but both sides have been killing each other for many, many decades over the dispute of the territories. So how could you solve this? I'm no expert, but I can bet on one thing. You're not going to solve it with military actions. Israel can never have peace in that area, in my personal opinion, with continuing military conflict. There has to be some sort of solution, diplomatic solution. Otherwise, it is never going to end. Now, how does that look? I don't know. You guys tell me. I hope I was able to help you guys understand the Israel and Palestine conflict a little bit better. What do you guys think? Was I able to allow a little bit? Clint, what kind of a photo is that, Clint? American flag shorts, battle belt, of course, the Mark 18. Jesus. Okay. Patriot knives and tactical. Exactly is right. 2A gives all other amendments the teeth needed to defend. Exactly. Second Amendment is absolutely the key. Look at Ukraine. Ukraine folks didn't have guns. We also, when Russia decided to invade Ukraine, they were literally giving kids those wooden AK-47s, how to hold a gun and walk and pie your corners and stuff like that. And then they were just giving people who have never held guns AK-47s and get out there and die. And they did. They died. Same thing in Israel. If you look at Israel, guess what? A lot of folks, like 1,000 people in one day, man. And out of those 1,000, let's just say 800 of them were civilians, right? They got massacred. 260 of them, young folks having fun at a music festival. They got just destroyed by a bunch of people with guns. And anybody who freaking says to you, anybody, okay, who says, hey, why do you need an AR-15? Number one, because I can. I'm allowed to. That's my constitutional right. Number two, freaking bad guys are not coming at me with a pistol anymore. Number three, well, I want to have the best chance of surviving any kind of a life-threatening attack. So therefore, I can shoot an AR-15 more accurately, more capacity, obviously more effective round. That gives me the best chance of survival against any kind of a threat. So there's a lot of reasons, but those are some of the reasons. And guess what? In Israel, we just saw, they all came in not only with AK-47s and M4s, fully geared up. How are you going to fight against that guy? You know what I'm saying? Even with an AR-15 just alone, you're going to struggle against those folks. Not only they have all the equipment and the weapon, they're also trained in squads coming at you. Who says this can't happen here? Let me ask you guys this, and I'm seriously asking this. The southern border, some shit goes down. I don't know, the U.S. hits cartels and kills a couple of big cartel folks, and those borders are open, and some of those cartel folks organize 100 of them, and they just cross over to a freaking small town, Texas, and start massacring people, and then retrieve back. What are you going to do? Of course, yeah, U.S. government is going to go and bomb them and kill them, whatever, but not after they kill a bunch of people. That could happen here too. Anybody who thinks that, oh, this can never happen in the United States, I'm pretty sure Israel thought the same thing, that they could never be invaded. The most they could do is just shoot rockets over the Iron Dome. So, I don't know. Jeremy, they're already here. That's true. Yeah. King, yeah, that's why no country will invade us. I agree. I don't think you can invade the United States because of Second Amendment. Everybody knows we got guns here. But at the same time, I mean, the US government is United States is very powerful. But that doesn't mean, like, look what happened to Hamas in Israel. Is what Hamas did to Israel. Hamas didn't invade Israel. Hamas just did a full-blown operation into Israel, killed 1,000 people, and then some of them retrieved, a bunch of them died there, and that's it. They sent a message, guys. Who's to say that can't happen here? Not everything is invasion, you know? Yeah. Rakan, SAR. What is SAR? What kind of a currency SAR is? I don't know. I'm dumb, so I'm an idiot. I don't know. 25. Thanks. Hamas are loyal to Iran, not to Palestinian, but still the Palestinians have the right to have a country in the same 1945 borders. Yeah, I mean, Palestinians having their West Bank the way the UN drew, sure. Yeah, Palestinians do have a valid point when it comes to territorial dispute. But Hamas is freaking terrorists. They're freaking terrorists, dude. And yeah, Iran, I mean, Iran is I don't want to get started on Iran. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Rial. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. So the Saudi has been the official currency in Saudi Arabia. All right. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Eric, it will happen here. Our borders are open and deliberately so. I agree with you. Like I'm telling you guys, like I'm not here to panic anybody. And I'm not here like, oh my God, go buy guns. I'm not saying any of that stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is whether you agree with Second Amendment or not, you've got to understand Second Amendment is literally key to freedom. I'm seeing that more and more. I'm 40 years old, guys. Like I'm like now in the last few years seeing this even more clearly. Again, if you ask 20-year-old Kaya, I'd probably give you that dumb response. Oh, I mean, I'll call the cops because I was dumb. So when folks give us, why do you need an AR-15? And not everybody needs guns. I don't get upset right away. I basically really do want to understand where they're coming from. Because if you get upset right away to folks who don't agree with Second Amendment, you're going to lose them. Because some of them watch CNN and that's what they think. If you can actually have a rational conversation with them, you could actually win them over. So anytime you guys get into any debates with any folks who don't agree with Second Amendment, be cautious. Oh, what happened? Hold on. My camera went away. Okay. Sorry. So anytime you have a discussion with anybody who doesn't agree with you on Second Amendment, try to have a rational conversation first. Because like I was saying on my last live stream, I was talking to this girl, we were just walking, and she asked me, why do you need an AR-15? People don't need an AR-15. And I legit gave her certain reasons. And by the end of that conversation, she was fully on board. She just watched CNN. So I caution you guys to not go hard on these people because they most likely, you'll most likely lose them. All right. Sawyer, every time someone asks me why I need an AR, I tell them I don't. I don't need a seatbelt either, but I always wear it. That's a good point. Yeah. JC, China is attempting to invade the U.S. Be careful. They have unofficial police stations, retired CCP, military generals buying up U.S. farmland near U.S. military base. Dude, China has been doing that for many, many years, guys. China, like I'm not talking about for entire Chinese folks. I'm just talking about the CCP, right? Chinese Communist Party. They're rats, bro. They've been stealing U.S. technology for decades. To this day, there's Chinese rats all over U.S. labs, Boeing, what was that? What's Elon's company? Not Skynet. Jesus, I'm having. What was the company that goes up to the star? Like Blue Origin is Amazon's, not Starlink. SpaceX. There's like SpaceX. They're all over the place, dude. They've been stealing U.S. technology. So when we talk about Chinese invasion, not necessarily troops, but China has their spies all over the United States. They are, and I know this for a fact. So there's that. Tesla is, I don't think they care about that. Truth hurts. China is the second largest U.S. landowners. I agree with you. I think Florida Governor DeSantis just banned any Chinese assets to buy land. But here's what China does, man. They open a company in Germany, and then through that company, they buy the land. That's so easy, man. They get around it. I mean, the U.S. government, the investigation folks do a pretty good job detecting this, but you can't detect them all. So there's that. So with that being said, now that we dove deep into this Israeli and Palestine, whatever nonsense going on, do you guys support U.S. troops to actually go over there? Like, I really want to know. Because I feel like here in the United States, on the streets, there are people actively chanting for Hamas. I'm not talking about Palestine. Like, if somebody supports Palestine's right to have the territory, I don't have a problem with that. That's the dispute between these two countries. I'm talking about Hamas out there just killing all those innocent folks. Do you guys think that U.S. should go out there, put boots on the ground? See, Will, why are you getting into politics? Well, I want to talk about politics today a little bit, because that's a pretty big event that directly affects our country, the United States. At the same time, it's directly in correlation with the Second Amendment. So it's under one dome. David Ledger, Israel wants to use of nuclear weapons to end Hamas in Gaza. That's not going to happen, dude. If Israel used any nukes, that's it. Israel would never get support from anybody, and they would, Israel, that'd be a big mistake, obviously, in my opinion. We are not the world police. Okay, there's a good question. There's a pretty good question. The U.S. has been the world police for obviously many, many years, right? There's bases of U.S. Military all around the world, so we're able to like quickly respond everywhere. We work with many nations, right? We're all over the place. Well, somebody has to be the world's police. That's a fact. What do you guys think? Would you guys rather have Russia or China or maybe Iran to be the world police? I mean, it wouldn't be Iran, but it most likely, if U.S. simply took everything back, took its fingerprints off all of these nations that we're doing stuff with, and decided to just seclude just the United States, well, somebody else is going to fill, like vacuum, those spots. And that will be CCP or Russia. So you got, wait. Somebody said Russia. Wait. Tarek, we saw Russia. So you would prefer Russia to be the world police over the United States? Stuart, if I had to choose a world police, it would be USA. USA, I agree. Dude, anybody who thinks that the United States is too cruel, too this and that, because a lot of foreigners do, man. You go to Europe, you go to Middle East, you go to Asia, everybody talks shit about the U.S. Why are you the world police? Why are you doing this? Why are you everywhere? Why? Well, because somebody has to be. And honestly, if it was Russia, oh boy. Dude, it's Russia is straight up under dictatorship. China the same way. So out of all reasonable voices, the United States obviously by far is the most reasonable. Nobody's innocent. I get it. I get it. So we're spread. There you go. That's a good one right here. 601 firepower. We are spread thin, dude. I mean, insane. And I was just watching Nikki Haley, and I got nothing against her or anything like that. Nikki Haley was just saying that, yes, we can help our southern border. We can help Israel. We can help Ukraine. We can help Taiwan. We can do it all at once. We are, what is it, $33 trillion in debt, the national debt? Let me take a look at it. National debt of the U.S. All right. $33.5 trillion national debt. And you think we can continue to give Ukraine, which isn't freaking innocent? I don't know why everybody drank the Ukraine Kool-Aid. Are you kidding me? Zelensky is a dictator himself. But anyways, continue giving crap ton of stuff to Zelensky, Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars. At the same time, God forbid if anything happens with Taiwan, then Israel. Then we got to deal with our own southern border. At the same time, we got all those freaking refugees in the United States now, millions of them. What is it, 11 million of them? Dude, I'm not here to just make anybody paranoid, but we're going downhill fast. And if we don't change a couple of things around here, it's going to take generations and generations to correct it, if ever. So I think boots on the ground makes more sense in Ukraine than Israel. I disagree, man. I think boots on the ground makes no sense in either places, Ukraine and Israel. Don't put any U.S. troops on the ground. Don't kill our own boys here, okay? Our boys are going to fight somebody else's fight and die for them. I don't agree with that. So I agree, man. No boots on the ground. Absolutely not. So Sergio, that's a good one, man. Only boots on the ground should be at the U.S. border, southern border. I agree with you. Well, northern too, but southern for sure. I was just looking at it. What was the candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy? He went up the Canadian border, the northern border. He was able to just cross into Canada and back. No problems. Like it was just open. Oh, Practical Civilian, $2. You forgot my last super chat. I'm terribly sorry, dude. I apologize. Let me go back up there. I'm gonna scroll all the way up till I see it. Shit. Guys, if you send me a super chat, if I miss it, I apologize. I mean, chat is very active today, which is awesome. I love talking about this stuff. Damn, where is it? It must be way up there. Where? Guys, if I miss your chat, continue sending me the same chat, same question, whatever it may be. I'll eventually see it. I'm trying to look for. Oh, Gabriel, I just saw this. Gabriel, $5. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. No more foreign wars. Citizens around the world need to hold their governments responsible for turning them into vulnerable sheep. I agree with you. And guess what? If you don't have Second Amendment in whatever government that the country that you're in, how are you even going to hold them accountable? You're just going to scream on the streets and cops are going to beat you down. But I agree with you. You should make some noise about that. Dude, where is your super chat? I can't freaking see it. Oh, Practical Civilian, $2. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. I'm now seeing it. Do you think this means end time like in Bible? I don't agree with that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But I think we're looking at another probably 50,000 or more dead Palestinians and thousands of Israelis. Israelis. I don't know how to say that. The United States government spending exceeds its income most years, and the U.S. has not had a budget surplus since 2001. TH Tactical. Thanks, dude. And that shows right there. And Nikki Haley says, oh, yeah, we can help out Israel. We can help out Taiwan. We can help out Ukraine and the southern border all at the same time. We can afford it. And forget the southern border, too. Have you guys seen the migrant crisis in New York? New York governor said a long time, I don't know, a couple of years ago, whenever, I don't remember the date. We welcome, if you're oppressed, if you're this, if you're that, New York opens arms for you. Come here and we will house you, we will feed you, we will do this and that and that. Dude, I'm compassionate too. I'm an immigrant myself too. But let me ask you this. You got a sheep, sorry. Well, if you got a sheep, that's a different thing. You got a ship, and the capacity of that ship is 20 people. If you put 21st one, it's going to sink, and that's it, right? Capacity of it is 20 people. You got 10 people in that sheep. Why the fuck do I keep saying sheep? Somebody just said sheep. I got stuck to my head. All right, you got 10 people on that ship. Boat. Let's just say boat, so I don't say sheep again. You got 10 people on that boat. Your capacity is 20. You're cruising along Atlantic, and you come across a shipwreck, and there's about 40 people in the water. They're just drowning and they need some help. Let me ask you a question. How many of them would you take on your boat? How many of them would you do? If he said all of them, well, you just killed everybody, including yourself. You can be compassionate to those people and help out whatever you can, but you got to be more compassionate to your own people. I firmly believe in that. So you would take 10 of those 40 folks, right? And you got to let 30 of them drown. You can't take them, because if you take the other ones on board, then instead of having 30 bodies on that water, there's going to be 50. So it's a simple math, simple example. I know the world is not that simple, but I feel like we're doing exactly that. The SEAL Team 6 is going into Palestine and rescuing our hostages. Plan is how we accidentally get directly involved. I don't know how that's going to be, man. What is it? 11 confirmed Americans dead? Yeah. That's crazy. When do you think China will invade Taiwan? Well, if the United States puts boots on the ground in Israel, and it's going to be messy, that'll weaken the United States even more. Now, especially with the Ukraine and stuff, I feel like, and then Iran gets involved with that, that's the perfect path for China to get into Taiwan. That's what I'm thinking. Because this whole thing, this whole ordeal is helping out China. Right now, China is sitting there and just begging United States to get involved with the Israel war. Begging. Because it's only going to help China. So, Israel doesn't even need American boots. I agree. Israel doesn't need American boots. Israel has the capability to do a lot of things. But as soon as Iran gets involved actively, I think Israel is going to need a lot more than that. Trust me, Israel is not that strong, brother. I'm reading the chat right now, so go ahead and send whatever you guys send my way, guys. Dude, there's some good questions here. North Korea will attack South Korea too. Well, North Korea is now working with China and Russia. So there's another thing right there. When you, I mean, man, Biden's policies, man, holy crap. What's happening here? Kaya, you just need an engineer from Haiti and Dominican Republic or Cuba. They can fit 40 on a 12-footer. They do it all the time. That's a good one, dude. True. Yeah, they make it work. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Kraft, if Hamas are terrorists, how Israel can make peace with them? Hamas are ruling Gaza and kind of representing Palestine. Yeah, Hamas is not the only one. If you go to West Bank, there's actually some legitimate folks out there that are involved in this that could sit on the table and come up with a resolution, a reasonable resolution. The only problem is Hamas is run by Iran. So if Iran doesn't like the deal, they'll say no, and the war will continue. And most likely, Iran will never be happy until the entire Jewish folks in the Israel region are dead or gone. That's what I'm thinking. All right. David, no, Trump will probably get Kennedy'd if it looks like he's going to win. Dude, I'm honestly thinking about that too. Like, I was thinking about it when I was watching Tucker Carlson. Tucker asked Trump directly, he's like, yeah, are you not worried about getting assassinated? Because it looks like they're trying to stop you with indictment, this and that and that. And if they can't stop you, the only option that's left on the table is to assassinate you. Trump obviously said he doesn't care. But that is, I mean, that could happen. That could really happen. Super chat. Let's see what we got here. GP, $10. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Religion is the ultimate divider. Because of my imaginary friend is better than your imaginary friend, war is endless. Peace is impossible. All religious books, Bible included, say to end non-believers. That is correct, dude. I've discussed this with my own family many times, my friends many times. If you don't believe what I believe, you're like the extremist, obviously. You know, you should die. You shouldn't live. Or I shouldn't associate myself with you and stuff like that. Religion, indeed, could be articulated, I guess, in a way where it is a great divider. I'd agree with you. And that's sad. That really is very sad. I mean, I totally understand the place of religion in the world, because also without religion, you have chaos. But it appears you have chaos with it as well. Wait a minute. GP, somebody's calling you out right here. Ops 1 Delta. The Bible does not call for that. I don't know, man. I honestly, that's not my forte. So I haven't read the Bible. Sam Perez, Bible doesn't say to end non-believers. I've never heard, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I've never heard on Christianity where they say non-believers must die. But at the same time, I haven't heard from just your average Muslim folks to say non-believers must die. But I did hear from the extremist Muslims, like we've obviously seen the Al-Qaeda, the ISIS, and like some of the like Hezbollah and all that stuff, that non-believers must die. I've seen the extremist Muslims, the radical Muslims say that, but I've not seen on any Christians, any level Christians say that personally. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying I haven't personally heard it. RJ behind the wheel, $2. Thanks, dude. I appreciate your contribution, RJ. Will the USCCA gun insurance protect us? Your option. If are you asking me? If you're asking me, I mean, honestly, I don't have their insurance. The only reason I don't is I read the fine print. It says if you're charged with a crime, they're not going to protect you. They're not going to cover you. And I don't like that because I think USCCA's fine print should read that if you are charged with a crime during a non-self-defense, I guess that's still up to interpretation. They got to rewrite that part because, yeah, if I have the insurance and I have the concealed carry and I've got the USCCA insurance and I go out there and just rob somebody, of course, you shouldn't be covering me if I get arrested for that. But if I'm clearly involved in a self-defense situation, there's some dispute and I pulled my gun, perhaps maybe I was unjustified, right? But it was still during a self-defense type confrontation. You should cover me. You know, that's why I have the insurance. Because I can totally shoot somebody right now coming into my house. Bang, I end that guy. And Mecklenburg County prosecutor's like, you know what, dude? He didn't have a gun. You shouldn't have shot him. I'm going to go ahead and charge you. Well, guess what? USCCA doesn't cover me based on the fine print. All right, going back to our conversation here. Wait, do I got a super chat here? Oh, I got that. I got that cleared out. All right. So Trent says, Bible does not say that. So I believe you guys. What do you think everyone is escaping from war and going to Turkey? I don't know if that's true, honestly. Some people talk about it. I'm not sure. I don't have any information on that. I mean, Turkey's a safe country pretty much, given that area. So I can understand that. But Turkey has their own problems, man. So I don't know. Let's see. On Firepower, have you changed what you carry every day after the attacks? So far, no. I still have the same setup. And I'm not going to be able to obviously walk around with a rifle because that's what I have at home to protect myself. That's my go-to gun. But on the streets, good old pistol, man. And there's not much it's going to do, unfortunately. But hopefully it'll buy me some time. All right, let's see. What else we got? Oh, man, looks like we got into a whole Bible thing here. Chet, Dana White just dropped him as well. Dude, I missed that part, man. What did they drop? What did he drop? Dana White? Oh, shit, there's a lot of chat over here. Hold on. Hold on, let me type something. Okay. Oh, USCCA? Okay, well, I mean, hey, what was his reasoning? Carol Hill, yes, I live right in uptown Charlotte, guys. By the way, anybody from Charlotte, anybody live in the area, please hit me up on the Classic Firearms Instagram. Or you guys can message me at kaya@classicfirearms.com. I'll be happy to meet up with you guys. I live right in uptown. Literally baseball stadium right there. Charlotte. So I'll be very happy to meet some of you guys. Moving up. What else we got? Oh, dude. $50. Thanks, dude. Inigo? Is that what it is? Inigo? For some SMKs and a six-pack? I don't know what you mean there. But thanks, dude. Appreciate you. What else? How likely are we to have a Red Dawn situation here? I mean, I honestly don't know and don't care, but you should always be ready, man. You should always, you should support the Second Amendment. You should absolutely, if you're not armed, dude, get some training, get some professional training. So you know what you're doing, because it does require responsibility. You got to be a responsible gun owner, and be ready, man. Be ready for any kind of a threat that could be maybe at a local level or maybe a larger scale level that'll threaten you and your family. Be ready. I'm ready, man. I'm absolutely ready. If Trump get assassinated, do you think it'll be a civil war? What are your thoughts on that? I don't think Trump's going to get assassinated. If he does get assassinated, things would go a little bit crazy here for sure, but I don't think there'll be civil war. Yeah. So, oh, wait. Are you Muslim? I don't believe in any religion. I do believe in God and believe in being a spiritual person. But I don't go by any religion anymore. Not anymore. All right. Sopa Coops, $5. Palestinians have had, over the last 40 years, 6+ chances to settle in the dispute with land splitting and leave in peace. They always say no. GSO. I don't know what that acronym is. Maybe I'm too old. But so here's the deal. I think the agreement. So Palestinians, from what I know, and I'm not there, right? They've had the UN border, that West Bank, the Gaza. They want no Israel involvement. But I think Israel, as far as I know, Israel never said, okay, West Bank is completely yours. Gaza is completely yours. No involvement from us. I don't think Israel ever said that, especially, Gaza, yes, but West Bank, no. So I think Israel still wanted some control over it while giving that territory to them, and they didn't want that. As far as I know, that's it. And I don't think Israel is backing down on that. So what else? Wait. Dean, what do you think of Bullpup 12 gauge? Works great. Sucks with a drum mag, of course. But overall, I have 2 of them. They're good. Kicks like insane. I prefer, you know what I like, dude? I honestly love the Benelli M4. Obviously, that's expensive. There are a lot of clones out there, like Turkish clones. I love them. I just recently got my hands on one. Runs great. With the tube extension, you get 7 + 1, 8 freaking shells. I love it. So if I'm going with a shotgun, it's an M4. That's it. What else do we have? There's no need. How Mossad couldn't prevent, what do you think? Dude, Israeli intelligence definitely failed. That's a fact, right? How could you have such a large scale organization and there were no leaks? That's almost impossible. You have this in months long, probably, at least weeks, but months long, probably, planned attack supported by Iran. Most likely, again, I don't have any facts for this, and executed it. Okay, let's just say it went through Israelis' intelligence. Israeli intelligence officers could not detect it. What about U.S.? What about U.S. government's intelligence? How could they not pick it up? Because U.S. government would share that information, I would hope, with Israel. So I feel like it's a failure on the even on the U.S. side, U.S. intelligence side. Because I'm just thinking, especially as a former guy who kind of did stuff like that, how did you not see that? Unless somebody didn't share information, which U.S. government is notorious. I don't know. We'll see those facts later, I guess. But either, again, nobody detecting this, I doesn't make any sense to me. Like Israeli intelligence and the U.S. intelligence not detecting this is almost sounds impossible to me. I'm thinking more like there were no dissemination of information. That's what I'm thinking. I may be wrong. Again, these are all my personal opinion, guys. I'm just talking here. Rick, hey Kai, I finally got my hands on one of the new Holosun 507 comp dots. Okay. Okay. Put it on my Echelon. It's amazing. Huge window. Yeah, dude. Told you. How do you like the Echelon? Pretty good, right? All right. Looney Tune didn't see it the same way we didn't see 9/11. I mean, 9/11 obviously was a long time ago, and there was some information not shared. Some of the stuff weren't taken seriously, but it's a completely different world now when it comes to intelligence. Love the Echelon right now. It's my favorite handgun. It's my favorite too. I actually run Echelon right now at Classic. Let's go. They let it happen. Give it a reason for war, invade. I don't know. I have no idea. I hope you're wrong, obviously. Gurkhan, $5. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. What kind of approach do you think the American government wants from Turkey in the region? I don't think U.S. government expects anything from Turkey in this case, but continuing good relationship with Turkey. So in case, Turkey can, because Turkey is pretty close to Israel, right? I mean, much, much closer than the U.S. So probably continuing to use Turkish bases to operate out of for easy access to Middle East. U.S. ambassador in Yemen did not have a clue. Just so weird. Let's see. Big Blue. Well, let's flip a coin. Let's say they did know. Why would they let it have let it happen? What if the attack was going to happen? What? Who benefits? Dude, we could speculate this all day long because some folks say, you know what? Okay, if Israel knew this and they let it happen, this would look really bad for Israel, right? I mean, your Iron Dome is useless, basically, almost. Your wall was useless. Your strong military and everything was useless. Your intelligence that you just bragged about, everything was useless. So you were just nothing but a hot balloon, hot air. So that would make Israel look stupid. At the same time, some people say, to me, Israel wouldn't gain anything from that. But then there's this other argument that I've read and saw people say that Israel was willing to, on top of that, thousands of people die. On top of that, some argument was Israel would let it happen, take those beatings and citizens dying in an effort to have a greater gain, which is just completely ending this conflict once and for all, level the whole Palestine thing, Gaza thing, just wipe it off the map and just send the signal that, hey, you guys messed with the wrong country and that nobody messed with us again. To me, I don't think with military conflict, Israel is ever going to win anything there. And the same thing applies to Palestine. Palestine will never win. It's just going to be a never-ending bloodbath that we have been witnessing over the last few decades. And it's going to continue. These are my own personal predictions. It just can't, dude. You can't just level places and just be like, okay, we won, so now we're in peace. No. Middle East is huge. They're all going to team up against you. And then you're going to have US with you and some other partners. Next thing you know, bloodbath continues. Oh, man. So, Ghost Shadow. Kaya, during World War II, Allies knew a town was going to get bombed. They gave no warning and let it happen because they didn't want the Germans to know. The Allies knew what they were doing. True. You weigh the risks versus reward, right? You don't want information to leak, and if that means some collateral damage, so be it, right? Sad and ugly face of war. You guys haven't read the Torah or Bible, don't know. They want to rebuild a third temple and are fine with sacrificing their own for that goal. I know nothing about that, honestly. All right. Crunchy Taco, where have you been, dude? Jeez. Glass parking lot are not the answer. I agree with you, dude. Some people say, like, I understand people are very emotional. I mean, we've all witnessed Hamas is just freaking executing civilians and whatever on the streets. This music festival, folks, 260 people, whatever. It's horrible, right? And these are circling all over the internet. And now another thing that's circling all over the internet is all those Palestinian innocent kids and women and men just lying dead in the rubble. That I also don't agree with that one. I mean, Israel has a right to defend itself, of course. But indiscriminately just bombing and people dying, and people don't have a place to go either. You know what I'm saying? Like, those folks don't have a place to go. And I don't look at them as Palestinians or Arabs or nothing like that. I look at them as humans, right? I'm all about, like, military conflict. You guys kill each other, that's your own dispute. But when civilians are in this mix and they're just getting killed for some other people's decisions, and they call them collateral damage or for the greater good, screw you guys. Just imagine, how would you feel? You know what I'm saying? But regardless, that's why some people are very emotional. They're like, Israel leveled them. Well, bro, when you say leveled them, like, I'm with you. I don't like seeing all those Israeli folks getting freaking slaughtered by Hamas terrorists. But if Israel goes out there and levels these cities and kill thousands, tens of thousands, babies and innocent people, how is Israel any different than Hamas terrorists then? In my eyes, Israel wouldn't be any different. Whether you agree or not, we can leave it there. But a government, a state, especially a state like Israel, a U.S. ally, shouldn't be indiscriminately bombing places and just killing all those civilians. I don't think in this 21st century that'll win you wars. I don't agree with it, but so Sean, are these innocents you talk of, women or a children family of terrorists? Why are they there? Most voted them on. Most gore, I don't know what the hell you're saying there. Then why don't they leave? Terrorist families are not innocent. Hey, Sean, they don't have you been to Gaza? They got no place to go. They legitimately don't have anywhere to go. They're like in this densely packed city. Can't do shit to Egypt. Obviously not going to Israel. Then there's water. Like, literally, they got nowhere to go. And let me ask you a question, Mr. Zimmerman, since you're so smart. Half of that freaking Gaza voted for Hamas. And it's extremely easy to brainwash people. If you haven't tried one, try brainwashing a couple of kids. You'll easily get them on your side, whether it's bullshit or not. Okay, it's very easy to brainwash people. What about the other half? Okay? Entire Gaza did not vote for Hamas. There are people in Gaza don't want Hamas, don't agree with Hamas policies. They're getting murdered. So are you okay with those people getting murdered? Of course, from the thing that you just wrote right there, you seem to be completely okay with those people getting murdered. Let me tell you something, my friend, okay? Any innocent people, I don't care what religion, I don't care what background they have, any innocent people getting murdered is something that I can't get on board with. And I never will. I'll put my hand on my pillow. I'll have a clear conscience. I'll go to sleep every night. You can go to sleep with that thought. Moving on. All right. Oh, hell no. Exactly. Beheading babies cannot be considered collateral damage. It's not. It's barbaric terrorism. That's what it is, beheading babies. Kryptonian World Economic Forum and the European Central Banking industry have been wanting to ignite a world reset. Money corrupts everything. Dude, these conspiracy theories, whether they're true or not, I don't know. I know nothing about this one, man. But I appreciate your contribution, dude. Appreciate you. Where are these echelon holsters and modular accessories at? Tim, I run a, Safariland. I run a Safariland echelon holster. I believe Safariland has it. So check them out for sure. But it's obviously not inside the waistband, none of that stuff. It's outside. Let's see. What else? Hopped up on Mountain Dew. The attack is equivalent to our 9/11. Yeah. They need to react with extreme prejudice. This will not end. My opinion is U.S. is under threat as we speak. Any thoughts on the threat to our soil? Dude, I agree. It is their 9/11. Israel has a right to defend itself all day long, dude. What happened to Israel is freaking horrible. I agree. Like when I say we've all witnessed those videos of those people getting killed, man. It's heartbreaking. Like what we watched, Hamas going in and just like freaking executing people at bus stops and going in their homes and killing their dogs and everything. Anyways, it's horrible. It's absolutely those barbaric terrorists. Now, this will not end well. I agree with you. Personal thoughts. The U.S. soil is under attack, in my opinion, from fentanyl more than anything else. Not every killing is done by guns, okay? If you guys look at the fentanyl is going to kill tens of thousands of people again this year and next year. Our southern border is open. Our immigration policy is on, obviously, this latest migrant crisis. Dude, if you guys don't see it, like people don't have to have guns and invade our country with paragliders and jumping over walls and with AK-47s. Like honestly, a bad immigration policy is going to be enough to corrupt and destroy your country. And when we look at the border, southern border is just a freaking field, you know, people can just get right through it. The drugs and the guns that's just floating in, like flooding into this country. I mean, we're all waiting for these military folks invading the nation here, but we are under attack from the southern border. Like, I just wish you guys, do you guys follow the American Sheriff Mark Lamb? If you guys don't follow Sheriff Mark Lamb, the America's Sheriff on Instagram. Follow him. I'll put that on the screen if I think it's on my phone. Where's my phone? Yeah. Anyways, America's Sheriff Mark Lamb. The man is one of the biggest patriots out there, and he fights for border safety, border security all the time, and he's running for U.S. Congress as well. He's always on Fox News. He's always reporting on border, and he's there himself. And I'm friends with him. I know him. The things that he says, it's insane. So don't always wait for a military invasion. You're literally like, people are pouring into the country, and not all of them are, of course, like, are here to do us harm. They just want a better life. I get it. But if you look at it, cartels are pumping fentanyl and drugs and guns that we don't want, right? In the hands of certain people, some dirtbags. They're coming in, man. So you want peace here, you want to vote right. So yeah, Sheriff Lamb, man, he's awesome. Sleeper cells, yeah. What else we got? So anyways, Second Amendment, guys. Second Amendment. This Israel incident is, well, not incident, it's a war, right? Is a very big Second Amendment eye-opener, in my opinion. And if you don't support Second Amendment, which I would presume pretty much most folks who are watching this right now, you guys are Second Amendment folks. But anybody else who happens to watch this later on, maybe, if you're not supporting Second Amendment, look what's happening in Israel. I mean, look at them. It's there's the citizens were disarmed, and now the government's like, oh shit, our citizens were slaughtered. They had no way to protect themselves. And now, okay, you guys can have, 100 rounds. And now I'm hearing, no, they're allowed to have guns, more guns, I guess, than they were before. Well, why do we have to do this when things were too late? Even if you give those citizens a bunch of guns, they don't even know how to use them because you disarmed them for all these years and they don't have guns. If they don't have guns, they don't know much about guns. They're not training. And a gun itself is a freaking tool. You are the weapon, right? So if you're not trained, then that tool may be more dangerous to you than as if you didn't have one. So you got to train yourself. Why do we have to wait till it's too late? We should do something about it now. We have our guns now, and we know how to use them, and we have a plan. So Dana Jones, Ninth Circus sucks again yesterday. What did they do? The magazine ban, right? Did they upheld that? I'm going to type here Ninth Circuit, see what's happening there. Dana, what happened? Ninth Circuit, no, not 59th. Magazine ban. Oh, the ruling stays? God damn it. Well, here's what, and that was expected, I guess. But it's going to go in front of the big court. And they really do need to use a Bruin case law to make their decision. Apparently, they don't give a shit because they probably put a few left-leaning folks there. But hopefully the Supreme Court is going to give the right decision on that one. Let's see. There's a question I just saw here. Oh, super chat. John, $10. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Are you ready for nuclear war? Do you know any shelter around you? As far as I can see, we don't have any public shelters for that reason. Isn't this scary? I'm not worried about the nuclear war. I mean, honestly, it could happen, of course, But honestly, that's not my main threat, like main concern. There's a lot more that can go wrong before a nuclear war. And our defense capabilities, they do lack a little bit, but we have some. So I'm not personally worried about a nuclear war right now. Following Second Amendment, why the heck are suppressors still on the NFA? Beats me, brother. Suppressors, I can't believe it. Like, suppressors, first of all, they're not like Hollywood. Like, they're not going to be like super quiet. But at the same time, they're safer to use. But yet, and they also make your barrel longer. That, you know, the ATF wants those barrels to be a lot shorter. So, hey, suppressor makes it longer, less concealable for you. I don't know, man. It beats me, but hopefully someday we will get past that. Steve, thoughts on the Walther PDP Compact? I haven't personally played with it, but Walther, they are great. They're great guns, very dependable, and triggers are amazing. So I can infer that that's probably a very good gun. All right. Let me see. There was a good post just above. I think I missed it. Hold on. Up there. Why does that? Oh, there you go. There we go. Huh. China, the lead producer of fentanyl. No coincidence. I agree. The alternative sources of attack on our soil. That's what I'm saying, dude. China obviously Wuhan is pumping the fentanyl to our southern border, and cartels are just pumping up to us. And people are dying. Yeah, there's so many Americans dying from fentanyl. Like, we're looking for some external force to gun us down. No, dude, look at fentanyl. It's just killing you every day. So, Greg, training the entire family how to handle themselves. Agreed, brother. Agreed. Absolutely. Very, very important. Very, very important. Right here, guys. You got to train your entire family. You got to have a plan. If you're in your home, you need to know which tactics you're going to employ and your plan A, B, C. Do things, guys. Rehearse these things. These don't mean that you're paranoid. These just mean you're ready, which also means whoever's going to come through those doors, they better be paranoid. Moving down. Jake Day, do you see enemy troops on our soil? I mean, nowadays in 2023, how do we even define enemy troops? Because I can tell you right now, CCP, Chinese Communist Party, Iran, Russia, those spies are walking among us. I mean, are they kind of enemy troops, right? In a way. So if you're talking about enemy with guns and plate carriers and squads invading, no, we don't see that, of course. But that's not the only way to kill or invade a country nowadays. Let's see. Jessica, thoughts on doing the special history episode on the U.S. SAW tender trials and the FN Mini-Me? This, I mean, that sounds great to me. This probably would be more Clint's avenue. He'd probably like that. Migs 757. All right, chat. We got to help Migs out here. Wife hates firearms, period. How do I defeat that? Man, that's tough. Dude, is your wife, can you get her, okay, can you get her to watch this thing so maybe I can say a couple of things? Because I want to ask her a couple of questions. I really, really do want to ask your wife a couple of questions here. Guys, how do you deal with a spouse who doesn't want guns in the house? Like, seriously, how do you deal with that? That could happen. New wife. Divorce. Jessica, you're welcome. Absolutely, you bet. I'm sorry I missed it. I really do try to keep up with the comments. Thanks to you guys. You guys are asking a lot of questions, which is good. It's good for me because it keeps the engagement going. Sell the wife, buy a gun. Wait. No, seriously, guys. Seriously, how do you persuade a spouse who's dead set on no guns? Like, that's a terrible situation because, you could love somebody. Like, you guys get along great, and it's a great freaking relationship, but there's that one big thing. I'm a licensed dealer. I have to have guns in the house. Migs, are you here still? Where you at? Is your wife here? I want to ask her some questions. Become a Mormon. Hey, they don't have multiple wives. Oh yeah, you're here. I see you, Migs. Is your wife here? Can I ask a couple of questions to her? Like, I actually really would love to ask a couple of questions. Funky, tell them your personal safety is a responsibility alone. Hire someone to take mug. Compromise. Get one gun. Wait, I missed it. What was that compromise? Hold on. One gun and keep it in a safe place. Reminder how fucked up the world is. Randomly epic. Thanks, dude. Where's Meg? She's not here. She works for an airline. Okay. Well, Migs, I would ask her this question. I would run through a hypothetical scenario, and I would keep it very realistic. In fact, a scenario that has happened in the past, right? Where you and her are sitting, like, you're in bed, you're at home watching TV, whatever, right? And boom, you know what? You hear downstairs, someone kicked the door in. Then they just broke into your house. 3, 4 guys, which happens all the time nowadays. Just because you live in a safe neighborhood doesn't mean anything. But I want her to know how to deal with that situation. Like, I really do want to ask her this sincerely. How would you want Mig, let's just say your name is Mig. Ma'am, how would you like your husband to handle those guys? 911, you called it right away. Bam, they kick the door in, you call 911. Yes, ma'am, police are on the way. Okay, it's going to take him a lot longer than what's going to happen in that house at that time to get there. Okay, so you call 911. You're sheltered in that room. All right, how do you want Migs to handle that? These folks are walking up. They're coming to your bedroom. How do you deal with that? That's the reality of today's world, especially today's America. Well, not even today's. It's been happening many, many decades. How do you want him to deal with it? Like, I sincerely mean it. Like, I go to sleep every day in that room, and I got my rifle next to me. If I heard something, I've got a plan. I've got a plan A, and I've got a plan B in here on how to approach. I got multiple things, guys. Every night when I go to bed, there is at least 2 things that I do, and I'm not going to tell you guys what that is. There's at least 2 things that I do before I go to sleep that'll give me the tactical advantage, let's just say, over anybody come through that door. First of all, they're going to have a hard time coming through, but it'll give me the tactical advantage. So how would this guy deal with a couple dirtbags? Kai's trying to slip in the wife's DMs. I got no problem with women, dude. So I don't think I need to do that. I'm happy with no women in my life. Let's just say that. No headache. Good to go. All right. For transparency, I have guns in almost every room in the house. She doesn't know that they're there, but she hates when I buy more. The fuck? Bro, that's also dangerous. What if she finds one and shoots herself and you mistakenly. You got to tell her, man. You got to tell her. All right. John, my wife has a traumatic experience with a gun with her last husband. I've tried talking to her about them, but I don't want to push it until she's ready. Mine are locked up and she's fine with it. Okay, so that's great, dude. So, John, you've got a compromise going with that, which is great. You've got guns and they're locked up. She's good with it. Being locked up is good too, but make sure that you have a plan on how to access them very easily. And I don't recommend any of those stupid fingerprint safes, guys. I don't like them. I don't recommend them because in a pinch they may not open. You may have just eaten some Cheetos or something. I don't know. Those fingerprints may not work. Something mechanical that you can just get to very easily. Like my safe, I got a little safe where I could put a couple of pistols in it. It's literally just like bang, bang. Can't miss it. Just two things and that safe opens. So that's good. John, that's pretty good. Right. Take her to Immortal EOTech. Take her to a range session. Usually a range session changes their opinion about guns. That's correct, but I caution you on one thing, guys. If your wife or girl, spouse, whoever, they're scared of guns, they're iffy about it, they don't like them, don't take them to an indoor range. Please, I'm telling every one of you guys, don't take them to an indoor range. They'll be even more traumatized because a freaking 9mm sounds like 308 in there. Just take him to an outdoor range. They'd be more comfortable with it. Less of that shock wave and the noise and all that stuff. All right. Liberty Safe's only open for ATF and the FBI. That's it. Let's see. Corn Pops. Amazing how we can jump to Israel aid, yet not even secure our own borders. That's what I've been saying, dude. I don't know if you're new to the live stream right now. That's what I've been saying. Like Israel, of course, U.S. will aid Israel. I mean, that's U.S. and Israel have been allies for decades, and it'll continue that way. But, I mean, U.S. military interference with Israel is something that I'm like, no, dude. We got our own problems over here. We can help our friends, like we can aid or support our friends, but we got our southern border here, man, that we need boots on the ground right now. Yeah. Soulfire Games. My wife was somewhat anti-gun when we got married. She was willing to listen and could outshoot me within a year. That's good. That's a good wife. She's a keeper. She is a keeper. There you go, right here, man. Somebody's common sense right here. On square, on level. We put boots on the ground. It'll absolutely escalate to a world conflict. Agreed. And guys, I may be dead on wrong. I don't believe so. That war in Israel and Palestine, I don't think anybody's going to win that war. I mean it. What do you guys think? Do you think that somebody's going to win that war? I sincerely am asking all of you guys. Do you think somebody's going to win that war in Israel, whether Israel or Palestine or whoever else is going to join? I don't think anybody's going to win that war. Just a bunch of people are going to die. And then somehow it's going to settle to something. But there's no winners. Nobody's going to win. So I truly hope that some sort of peace is brought to the table. But however, this is also another fact. You just got 1,000 Israelis got slaughtered on the streets of Israel by Hamas terrorists. And the reason I call the Hamas terrorists, because the acts, what they did, is nothing shorter than a terrorist act. Period. I'll never get on board on anything else. Terrorism right there. Because of all the innocent killings that they did. So Israel cannot be like, oh, you know what? Okay, let's sit down and have a deal, some sort of deal. Let's turn the other cheek. It's not going to happen. So Israel is going to have to get out there, and they are right now. Continue bombing and fighting, and there's going to be more people killed on that end. It'll stop again, but I don't think Israel can ever say we won this war. I just don't think so. I just hope that it somehow diplomatically it comes to a resolution of some sort, so there is some ceasefire. Mindset performance. I missed your super chat. I'm sorry, dude. Hold on. Where is it? Wait, I'm not seeing it. Are you trolling me? Oh, wait. Ghost Shadow, $2. M249 Saw was fun. Better I didn't pay for the ammo. Yeah, Saw is a great, fun game. Fun gun, dude. Agreed. Where'd you get it? Was it from us? A mindset performance. I don't see your... Yeah. Trolling me. John Doe, their cause is lost when they started slaughtering women and children point blank. Agreed. Agreed. I'm on board with you. Unwinnable, because the minute that one side starts to do what it takes to win, worldviews will shift in favor of the country losing. That, and it's just never going to end, dude. Israel is very powerful, U.S. ally, has a lot of capabilities. But yet, Israel is in the neighborhood of the entire Arab nations, Middle East. They'll never stop fighting. I mean, you can only kill so many, right? It's horrible. If we stay out of Israel's way, they'll handle the problem over there. Stacy, I honestly don't think Israel's going to be able to handle problems over there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Israel is powerful, and Israel is going to probably level a lot of places. I agree. That's going to happen. Just a lot of people are going to die, and then it's going to de-escalate again somehow. But I don't think it's going to be over. I don't think anybody's going to handle business. It's just going to be a bunch of killing on both sides. As always, more Palestinians are going to die than Israelis, which is sad on both sides, of course. So what do you guys, I asked this earlier. Do you guys think U.S. should put boots on the ground in Israel? Thanks to someone here that mentioned my favorite gun. Squad automatic weapon, M249. We've got one. Well, we've got two at Classic. They're obviously semi-automatic, so they're really neutered. They're fun to shoot. But not semi-automatic. So it's fun, but nothing like the full automatic. Dean, just special ops to get our people. I honestly think the special ops, dude, that's, I mean, our special ops people may get bombed down by Israel. In fact, I was reading a news story. Again, I don't know how much of it is true, so take everything with a grain of salt, guys, because don't believe everything you see. that Hamas stated that 2 Israeli hostages were killed by Israelis bombing into Gaza. I kind of believe that because the Israelis bombed the living shit out of Gaza right so far. Curtis recommend a small pistol for shit hits the fan. I mean, pistol is a pistol, right? But I would say, I have the Hellcat Pro. Great capacity, good size, concealable. I like it. Works. SF already on the ground? I didn't know that. Really? Did we put SF on the ground? I mean, that stuff, is that even publicly available? Chase, I think U.S. should provide aid, but no boots on the ground. Let's focus on our own problems like closing our borders. Chase, I agree with you, man. I do. Yeah. Mongoose, Gaza is super densely populated. Israel knows there will always be collateral damage, but they don't care when, and they do it anyway, but cry when there is collateral damage on their land. Well, to a certain degree, I agree with you, but I don't agree with the cry part on the collateral damage on their land. It wasn't collateral. I wouldn't consider that to be collateral damage, what Hamas did and just start shooting people point blank. I don't think that's collateral damage. That is straight up terrorism. That's what I think. I don't agree with Israel indiscriminately bombing a very densely populated city and in an effort to kill a few Hamas terrorists. They're just killing a bunch of innocent children as well. I don't agree with that either. I don't think that's a solution either. But I don't think Hamas folks going out there and executing people at point blank is collateral damage. Personal opinion, man. Agree or disagree, it's all good. Kyle, how can you define other friendly CCW people in a mass shooting? I am a CCW person. I don't want to be mistaken as a bad guy and vice versa. Dude, this is a great question, man. Great question. Now, this applies to every single one of us. That right there, you can't. Like, in a chaos, like mass shooting, you're a civilian, just like you're dressed like this and you got a gun in your hand. I'm betting you guys, they're going to think you're the shooter. Be careful. That's why you got to make the decision if you want to engage or not. You're going to be taking the risk of being engaged by other CCW folks thinking that you're the shooter or law enforcement. Because law enforcement have engaged their own people. When I was a trooper, when I was in the FBI, I had a thing that I carried with me. It was a little deployable thing. And I recommend that to every single CCW folks out there. It's a tiny little pouch, like a dump pouch. You know how you deploy a dump pouch, right? Little tiny little bit thing. Mine said police. I mean, what would civilians would say? I don't know. You can say security, something. I don't know. But I would deploy that. It would just go over, just like the Miss North Carolina kind of thing, like a banner like that. It was a reflective thing. I would just deploy that over my shoulder, and it would just say police over my back and front. That was it. And I literally carried that with me. If anything happened, I'd deploy that because there was the SWAT sniper that I was chatting with. He said there was this shootout going on, like a mass shooting type, a long time ago. And he had this guy on his crosshairs. And he almost engaged him. He thought that was the shooter, right? Because you can give your external appearance to 911. Hey, I'm wearing a green shirt, gray pants, whatever. You can say that all day long. Maybe responding cops will recognize who you are, but those folks in the immediate area, they may not. They won't. Anyways, the sniper is about to engage this guy. And he's about to, he starts even almost applying pressure on the trigger. He's got this guy at his crosshair. This guy's got a pistol. And the only reason he stops, He doesn't shoot him because this dude was moving so tactically. It was very apparent to him that whoever this dude is must be law enforcement or something, because he's the way he's moving, the way he's kind of keeping that gun compressed to his chest and popping out, whatever. It looked like he was a law enforcement. And he was right. He was an off-duty cop, heard gunshots, pulled his own gun out, and started going through this area that this SWAT sniper, was this SWAT sniper? What was he doing at that? Yeah, it was a SWAT sniper. Yeah. And he didn't shoot him because of that. Because you never know. Even law enforcement can engage you. So be very, very careful, guys. When you pull your gun out, law enforcement may think you're the bad guy. There may be other CCW folks in the area may think you're a bad guy. So you really do want to announce yourself. All right? Like, you got to let people know. Just say security. I don't know. Just to call yourself security. I mean, calling yourself police would obviously be impersonating. Just say, you're here to help. Concealed carry guy. Security. Just something. Announce yourself. I'm here to help. What's going on? Shit like that. Be very audible. But it's that right there. It could happen to anybody. Again, there's been cops killed. There's been innocent CCW folks have been shot by cops. Be careful with that. Do it at your own risk. All right. Gibby's Treasures, wear some type of armband too. Now, I'll tell you this. Yes, that would be better than nothing. The armbands aren't really visible, man. They really aren't. Like when I was back in law enforcement, I would wear my badge on my hip, right? And I always did. Some guys wore them on there like a necklace. And there were a lot of guys advocating to wearing them on your neck as a necklace. It kind of was more visible, right? Because sometimes your shirt would be over your badge, so you couldn't be seen as law enforcement. People couldn't tell who you are. So they always advocated that. So yes, armband is better than nothing, but folks aren't going to see that, man, unless you show it to them. It's like, hey, police, or hey, I'm security, whatever, something. But you got to be very intentional and very audible with your intentions to folks around you, or else they'll think you're the bad guy, man. Be careful. Uniformed officers got shot by their coworkers, but that's obviously that happens, but that's like more like crossfire kind of shit. Even sometimes in low light condition, they just think that's the bad guy. Steve Hughes, yeah, great show, Kai. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Good seeing you again, Steve. Really do appreciate you. Brandy, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you. Armband in the bicep area. Again, I agree. It's better than nothing. That something over your chest is something that is obviously more effective. That's what I carried. Again, it was a little deployable thing that I carried right on my belt right here. You just like deploy it, goes over your head. Like literally just a loop. You just put over your head. And it just said police, reflective, front and back. So take care, Steve. Thanks for tuning in, man. Or you could do this. Or you could do that. Joseph, what do you think about the 365X Macro? Fantastic. Great gun, dude. It just is. It's a little bit too big. The CFAM 199. Thanks, dude. Appreciate your contribution. Does Alec Epley still work for CF? No, guys. I've been with Classic Firearms. It's literally going to be 1 full year in just a couple weeks here. And I have never met Alec. When I got on board, they said that he left like 6 or 8 months prior to I started. So Alec, I've heard great things about him. Seems like a great guy. He hasn't been with Classic for at least in the last year and a half. Will, thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Whoa, right here. CJ, A300 or 1301 Tactical, Beretta. You're in luck, my friend. I literally just got back from the range before I started the live stream, And that's the video we did at Classic. So spoiler alert to you guys, A300 and 1301 tactical video coming up soon. I'm not going to spoil it to you guys, but they're good. They're good. So Cody, you and Alec should box, proceed to go to charity. Why box? Why can't we do something else? Alex started his own business, if I remember correctly. That's what I was told too, is exactly. All right. Sean, sorry for spelling your name wrong, bro. Hey, it's all good, brother. It happens. I don't have the most common name, so I don't mind at all. What's your opinion on 1911s for CCW, Kaya? It's not my thing, man. 1911s are big and heavy. I know there's some compact versions out there too. They're still heavy. And a lot of them are single stack for 45, obviously. Their companies are innovating for some double stack, more capacity. Still, it's just not my gun, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 1911s. I own a 1911 Springfield 1911 9mm, and I competed with them. They are fantastic for competition shooting, home defense, and everything. But for CCW, not my gun. Eduardo. Oh, my guitar guy right there. 199. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the super chat. Sean, that's all good, brother. 601 firepower. Does Clint really have baby hands? I never paid attention. They seem to be normal size to me. Slim Futures. Kaya, best rifle and pistol combo under $800. Both of them under $800? Well, Radical Arms, AR-15 seems like a good base. But then you need sights. Get your Chinese red dot for $100. Now you got, I don't know, $300 left. I think Radical's in the 400. I don't know. For $300, you probably pick one of those TSOS PX9s for like $250 or $300. Boom, $800, good to go. That's it, man. That's a slim budget right here. Eduardo, I think, yeah, $10. Thanks for the super chat, brother. A lot of the refugees are pouring through the border are not women or children. They're military fighting age males traveling alone. When asked, they're going to California from India, Africa, Middle East. That's not good. And you're right. Some of the stuff that I watch from Sheriff Lamb, they seem to be a lot of young men. Now, I understand some of them are trying to live a better life because, young men it's easier to take risks as a young male. Like when I was 20 years old, I immigrated to the United States. 20 years ago, I'm 40 now. I was ready to take any risks, man. Like I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the U.S. Of course, I came here legally. I'm a U.S. citizen. But I didn't know anybody in this country, right? It was a giant risk. But when you're young, you're able to take these risks. It's more forgiving, I guess, let's just say. So I'm sure some of them want a better life because let's take a look at it. Africa, India, Middle East, life isn't so great over there. So I don't blame folks wanting to come over here or other more developed countries to live a better life. But you got to do it legally, man. You got to do it legally. Skywatch channel, I migrated at 20. Man, brother. Yes, brother. What are your thoughts about the war? Which war? If you're talking about Israeli war, we've been talking about it literally in the last 2 hours. Majority of them immigrate alone, save every cent they can so they can bring the family later. I agree, yeah. They do that. Turkey. I'm from Istanbul, Turkey originally, guys. I finished high school, started college a little bit, dropped out, moved to the United States. And I've been here since I was 20. So 20 years. Glenn, you made a good choice coming to the States. Yeah, dude, I'm super happy with it. This is absolutely home for me. I've served the U.S., and I'm very proud of that. So, did a few things. U.S. definitely gave me a lot of opportunities. I mean, I worked my ass off, but the opportunities were there for me to work my ass off. So, for that, I'm forever thankful for this great nation, for sure. Giovanni, thanks, brother, for 99 cents. You're the man. All right. Okay, Donna, I know. We all haven't been here for 2 hours, and that's freaking a topic. Yes, correct. But literally, I've been talking about it in the last 2 hours. What do I think about the war? Is personally, I mean, I asked who's right? I asked you guys, right? Because there was a lot of supporters of Palestine's rights. There was a lot of supporters of Israel's right. For me, anybody, like what happened to Israel was terrible. Like, I'm talking about Hamas going in there and just executing 1,000 people. I could never be on board with that. That is a barbaric terrorist activity, period. And in my opinion, anybody who just goes out there and just kill people, they should not live. Israel has every right to defend itself, of course. On top of that, you know, my only criticism to Israel would be also, well, dude, 1,000 people get murdered, slaughtered by these terrorists. And of course, you got to defend yourself. But indiscriminately sending bombs into Gaza and just like freaking all those children and women who have nothing to do with some of the Hamas bullshit, that's also not nice. That's also not good. So that's also something that I can't get on board with. So my point is the U.S. Involvement with that war. Of course, U.S. can aid our friend Israel, right? U.S. and Israel are allies. I wouldn't want any boots on the ground there. I wouldn't want any military involvement of the U.S. government over there. We have a bigger problem, our southern border. Here in the United States, a migrant crisis. That's my take on the war. So, and the numbers are going up. I agree. Yeah. Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 9mm compact with the upgrade is my go-to on pistol. That's a great gun. I agree with you. But isn't the Hamas surround themselves with women and children and use them as shields, hiding amongst them? Oh, absolutely, because they're cowards like that. Like Hamas knew that they're about to attack Israel the way they did. They knew Israel was just going to obviously send a shit ton of bombs their way. And they knew a lot of innocent people were going to die. So Hamas doesn't have the interest of their own people in their hand, in my opinion, because they just knew that was going to happen. And look at it, man. It's heartbreaking to see some of those, like even obviously on the Israel side, all those innocent people got murdered and slaughtered by those terrorists. It's heartbreaking to watch that. Those families in despair. But the same exact thing is, when you look at it, there's kids, a bunch of kids and women dying on the Palestine side in Gaza with those bombs that have nothing to do with that war, because Hamas is just hiding among them, right? Well, that's not good either. I can't get on board with that either. So what I'm trying to say is it's a messed up war that nobody's going to win. It's disgusting on both ends. And this has been going on for decades. Well, 1,000 years, but decades since the inception of obviously Israel as a nation there officially, with when the UN drew the border of West Bank and Gaza and Israel. It's been going on ever since then, and it's never going to end. It's a messed up war that I don't think Israel is ever going to win. And I don't think Palestine is ever going to win. It's just a never-ending nonsense war. And a military conflict, violence is not going to win that war. I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that they have some sort of a diplomatic state resolution to this that everybody can somehow agree on. But I don't think that's happening. I don't know, man. I'm not some expert in this topic. I'm just telling you my own thoughts. But it's just bad. Dude, freaking people are dying, man. Both sides, people are dying. And I'm not talking about the Hamas terrorists or Israeli soldiers. Those are, obviously, we all expect them to fight and clash, right? Well, I hope even that didn't happen, but forget that. I'm talking about innocent people. They're freaking innocent people on both sides just getting murdered. So let's go. What else? Oh, dude, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Guys, I'm going to start shutting it down slowly if you guys don't mind me. Generally, I've heard that Israeli government sent a message out telling civilians to leave Gaza. Well, that's not going to happen. Gaza has got 2 million people. There's nowhere to go. They're not going to leave into Israel. They're not going to start swimming away. They can't get into Egypt. That border is sealed. So yes, of course, there are ways to leave, but it's not that easy, and they got nowhere to go. 2 million folks. You think, like, come on, guys, let's just be honest here. You think 2 million people are just going to freaking evacuate just like that? Israel will start bombing right away. I'm not saying Israel doesn't have the right to defend itself. Of course it does. But where are those people going to go? It's just a mess. Listen, guys, in any avenue you look at it, it's a fucked up war. So. Anthony, great forum. Thank you, brother. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. So. Kai, your name is Native American, right? No, dude, it's actually Turkish. It's a Turkish name, means rock. That's what it is. Nothing crazy. That's it. Vince, finish out the night with some guitar. Oh, dude, there's too many people watching right now. I'm too shy for that. Maybe next one. Maybe next Wednesday, guys. By the way, anybody who doesn't know this, every Wednesdays, 7 to 9, I live stream here. So if you guys are interested, tune in, man. We have a blast. We talk about guns. I look at you guys' builds. We kind of talk about that stuff. Generally, it's not political like this. I just wanted to make this one political because it's such a hot topic, and it directly correlates with Second Amendment. Because Israel was completely disarmed when it comes to citizens, and now Israel is arming its citizens. Well, what the fuck? You know, you're not supposed to wait till shit hits the fan. You're supposed to do that beforehand and be ready for it. So, all right. What if there's not a next one, bro? What if we get nuked and we didn't hear you play? Trust me, I'll tell you this, David. You're gonna be just fine, because hearing me play is not something that you gotta hear before you die. So it's gonna be fine. That's funny. We'll be fine, brothers. We will be fine. Why did they disarm him in the first place? They just never let him arm, you know? So, be armed, I guess. Mason, pleasure here in the stream. Have a good night. Take care, buddy. Thank you. What if they nuke us just so you can't play? Then they'd probably be right. I probably shouldn't be playing, because I don't want to ruin you guys' nights. Kai, you're amazing. Thanks for all the great content, bro. Keep it up. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. Really, really do, man. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Classic Firearms, every Wednesdays, 7 to 9 p.m. Live streaming here. And you guys get to know me. I get to know you. And this is way more personal than videos that you guys see me. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate your contribution, all the super chats, all the cool stuff. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Take care. And again, check out Clint on Mondays. He does like 7 to 9 p.m. So check that out. Take care, guys. Really appreciate you guys. See you in Classic Firearms videos. Bye-bye.